Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening. Whatever time you find yourself watching this video. My name's Nick, and welcome to Life is Hard, Don't Complain. Today, I got a knife that I've been eyeing in some iteration for a while from the guys at SOG. Now, if you know, SOG is now owned by GSM Outdoors. This knife is the, I'm gonna get the pronunciation wrong, I'm sure, but it's the Kiku, designed by Kiku Hidaka XR. And let's look at the box really fast. This is the Hidaka XR Satin Natural SOG 12-27-09-57, designed in USA, made in Taiwan. And it just says guaranteed for life, designed in the USA. So let's take a look. See this, they had some Kiku knives by SOG previously. I don't know if this is actually his design. Okay, that's very simple packaging. Just no additional things in there. So we'll just get rid of this box. Break out the old scale. So this is a green natural micarta, very grippy. It appears to have a cross beam lock, I believe. That looks like a cross beam lock. Well, SOG calls this an XR lock. That's right. They're jimping, lanyard hole, jimping, reversible pocket clip, top flipper, no thumb studs, jimping on the spine. Seems to be fairly centered. It could, no wiggle. Let's see how much he weighs before we, 136 grams, 4.8 ounces, all right. Butter smooth action, jimping along the spine, coincides with the jimping pattern on the handle. It's a hollow handle. Oops. This SOG Hidaka XR 3V, done in Taiwan. It appears to be designed by Kiku. So if you've seen some of his other, they have a fixed blade version of this guy that's longer, very similar style to it. Kiku Matsuda is the gentleman who designed its name. Now, this is a solid feeling knife. The cutting edge is over 3 inches, almost 3.5 inches. The handle is right at 5 inches, so it's not a small pocket knife. Action with this XR lock is snappy, easy to deal with. The top flipper has that jimping on it, so it sort of acts as a guard. Ooh, very sharp. I like the ergonomics of this guy is really what, at least the perceived ergonomics. See, if you see all of this scallops in here in the center of the handle scales. It's like a concave scale So you really, your fingertips, if you hold it as such, really find those. Either if your hand's big, it'll find these scallops. If your fingers are a little shorter, they go right into the center. So very multifunctional that way. It's a really, I love the design of this knife. It's an expensive knife. I will say that right away, but I had access to a 30% discount code and I pulled the trigger to get it. Without that 30% off, just to be honest, I couldn't afford to buy this guy. It's just, for a pocket knife, it is a premium priced pocket knife. Now, it's not Microtech. It's not Microtech Stitch or Troodon or any of those guys pricing. It's not a $500 pocket knife, but it's not a $100 pocket knife either. So, with that being said, I got a significant discount, which made the purchase possible for me. Any pros and cons to talk about? I'm not one to put a lanyard in a pocket knife. So this feature right here, for me personally, is not necessarily needed. You can't really see, I don't think you can see with the camera, but the skeletonized liners, these are steel liners. That's just going to take some of the weight off. The pocket clip is unobtrusive. I don't know, this is probably one of the first ones that have this pocket clip that sort of goes on the very top. So I've never used that, so I don't have a reference point of failure points for this guy. It could be good, it may not be, I don't know right off the top. Easy action, my guess it's on, it is on bearings, I would imagine. So a little oil would go a long way, but the action itself is easy, smooth. You may be able to combat deploy this. I'll try it. With one misstep, I was able to combat deploy easy peasy. 3V steel, super high-end premium steel. Why is 3V so sought after? It's super. It's one of the toughest steels on the market right now. It's stronger than CPM S35VN. This is a heavy duty guy. I don't baton in Bushcraft, but with the shape of this blade, if you had smaller pieces of wood, you could easily work through anything. And feather sticking with this guy, especially with this recurve, Tanto recurve, I mean, this guy will make short work of any of those tasks. Now, the drawback, this CPM-3V, it's got a lot, well, I say a lot, it's almost got 3% vanadium carbides in there. And, the vanadium makes it super sturdy and have a good, hard, good durable edge. But then you get into the sharpening aspect. Once this guy is dull, it takes some effort to to get her back to razor sharpness. And I mean, this guy is very, very, very sharp. So you got to take that. You got to take it as accepted. It's not a failure. You're trading that ease of sharpening for edge retention with this. You know, it's gonna hold an edge much longer. You know, the other things, you know, I like about the design is it is a stabbing monster. That point is built to penetrate, and because of this belly and the recurve, once you have a little bit of penetration, it's gonna go in. No sex jokes. Yeah. So anyhow, very, very pleased with this. This is gonna be the knife I carry for at least the next couple of weeks, just to see how I like it, how I use it. You know, I like overbuilt knives. This knife, I think, is not ridiculously overbuilt like a 4MAX Scout or something like that, but it is stout enough to where anything that comes my way with this, I would be comfortable facing. You know, there's certainly a tactical ability in this knife. You know, we're not trying to get into sword duels or knife fights or anything like that, but the sharpness, the style, the shape of this blade, you can defend yourself with something like this and not worry about failure with it. They say this XR lock can hold up, I think the larger ones hold up to 1,500 pounds of force, which is cool. You know, one thing I'll just say, this will be my one. I pointed out I don't care for a lanyard hole. Personally, the way this is designed, if I'm closing the knife like so, it puts this raw metal right in my hand. So if I was wearing a glove, I wouldn't even feel it, but because I'm not, I can feel it. So, you know, I honestly would prefer, you can keep the hole, but the micarta go and cover the whole thing. You know, that's just personal preference. Well done. You know, there's a lot of folks who have heartburn about the current ownership of brands like Cold Steel and SOG and stuff, but you know, I think this one is you know, really knocked it out of the park. I cannot find any negativity with these. You know, the steel liners are bright and clean, shiny. You know, I mean, it is maybe a hair off center, but it's negligible. And like I said, just the ease, that's an upside down top flip, no pressure, and you know, she flowed through gravity like nothing. So good knife. I've done a lot of pocket knife open boxes and reviews lately, and there's just been so many, you know, nothing to get really excited about. This one, I will say, this is a nice knife, and I look forward to trying it out, putting it through some paces and seeing how it does. And if it continues like I think it will, you know. This is definitely something I will crow about. Because again, I really, you know, I'm kind of in a recurve phase. I was sort of in a harpoon phase. Because like I said, I've been looking at so many knives lately that, you know, trying the flavors is like kind of like ice cream, I guess. But again, this knife checks the boxes for the knives, the functionality of a knife that I look for. And it's stabby, it's slicey. Would I be comfortable trying to protect myself with something like this, a folding knife? Yes. You know, this type of knife, I wouldn't have any qualms about. So, good job, guys. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm gonna link SOG's website. I'm gonna look for Kiku Matsuda's stuff too, because you could actually find his custom blades, and he's an old Japanese guy. I don't think he speaks English, but he has some very cool knives. And you know, support the community that gives you things that you like, right? So, with that being said, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of new videos. Trying to guarantee at least 3 a week. And the more people that come to the channel, the more videos I will be able to justify doing, you know. But anyhow, with that being said, remember, life is hard. Don't complain. Until next time, take care.